A 15-second video has ignited a firestorm that threatens to tear apart the carefully constructed relationship between professional golf and the booming world of YouTube content creators. What was supposed to be a simple promotion for a new driver has turned into a PR nightmare that has the PGA Tour scrambling to distance itself from its own title sponsor. The clip showed a man sprinting at a woman, shoving her to the ground with his forearms and shouting, "Do not touch my new driver." The backlash was immediate and devastating. Good Golf, the YouTube channel turned major golf brand with more than 2.1 million subscribers, posted a 15-second promotional video on Friday that would become one of the most controversial moments in golf influencer history. The advertisement, created in collaboration with Callaway to promote a new co-branded driver, showed Good co-founder Garrett Clark rushing toward fellow Good talent Alexis Miastowski. In the clip, Clark sprints at Miastowski, shoves her to the ground with his forearms, and stands over her as she lies on her back. As sinister music plays in the background, he threatens, "Do not touch my new driver." The response was immediate. Social media erupted with criticism, with users and high-profile golf media personalities describing the ad as confusing, scary, and endorsing violence against women. The ad was a disaster on every level, and the fallout was just beginning.
By Friday evening, the video was removed from all Good platforms. By midday Saturday, the company had issued an apology, but the damage was done. Clips of the ad continued to circulate across social media, with criticism growing louder by the hour. We posted a video to our channels that ultimately depicted actions that are not aligned with our values as a brand, Good wrote in a post on X. We have since taken that content down and sincerely apologize. Good has always stood for making the game of golf more inclusive to all, and we will continue to ensure that is our mission moving forward. But the apology was met with skepticism. Critics pointed out the contradiction. The actions in the video didn't align with the brand's values, yet someone at Good had to sign off on the ad before it was shared. The apology felt hollow, an attempt to contain the damage rather than address the root of the problem. Nicole Ray, social media director at Scratch, responded to the statement with incredulity. "They so don't get the point. They didn't just create an ad that makes golf non-inclusive to women, but it endorses violence against women in the scariest and most threatening way. This is a horrible look for them and for Callaway. Wildly disappointing." CNN Living Golf host Jasmine Sanders, known online as the Jazzy Golfer, raised a question that many were asking. "My first thought was, how did this get approved?" She acknowledged that the clip was intended as a joke, but questioned why violence against a woman needed to serve as the punchline of an advertisement for a golf club. The golf world was demanding answers, and the questions were getting harder to ignore. Callaway, which had partnered with Good since 2023 in what was initially described as marketing gold, found itself in an impossible position. The company had built a reputation for supporting women's golf through its investment in female players, ambassadors, and presenters. Now that reputation was under threat. "We are disappointed by the content that was posted and are appreciative of Good for addressing this," Callaway said in a statement. "We look forward to working together to ensure a more inclusive space in golf." The statement was carefully worded, expressing disappointment without ending the partnership, but critics weren't satisfied. The company had distanced itself without taking real accountability. Why had the ad been approved? How had it made it to publication? And what was Callaway doing to ensure it wouldn't happen again? The irony was staggering. Callaway is an official marketing partner of the LPGA Tour. The company had invested heavily in women's golf, and yet the ad that made light of violence against women had been published on their partners' channels without any apparent oversight. The equipment giant was caught in the crossfire, and the damage to its reputation was already done. The controversy came at the worst possible time for the PGA Tour.
Good was set to serve as the title sponsor for the inaugural Good Championship in November at Omni Barton Creek Resort in Austin, Texas. The $6 million event was part of the FedEx Cup Fall Series and represented the PGA Tour's most significant embrace of the influencer economy. The PGA Tour had been leaning heavily into the golf creator space. Good was central to that strategy, but now the tour was facing calls to cut ties with its own title sponsor. Jamie Klingler, co-founder of women's rights group We Cling These Streets, was among the most vocal. The PGA should cut ties with Good. The PGA Tour believes in golf's ability to bring people together and create a welcoming environment for all, the tour said in a statement. We do not condone violence in any form, and the since-deleted video does not reflect our values or commitment to inclusivity and respect. But the statement didn't address the elephant in the room. Would the Good Championship continue? Would the tour sever its relationship with a brand that had just been accused of endorsing violence against women? The PGA Tour was caught in a trap of its own making, and the damage was already done. The controversy came at a time when women's participation in golf was at an all-time high. According to the National Golf Foundation, women now represent 28% of the on-course golfing population in the United States, the highest share on record, and up from 20% in 2012. Women are also key drivers of the simultaneous golf apparel boom, which companies like Good have benefited from. Good's VP of Brand and Marketing, Jeffrey Lefkowitz, had said in a July interview that the company was making a conscious effort to grow its women's business. We brought in the Good girls, and they have been immensely helpful in really giving us a team to design products around and to get feedback from, Lefkowitz said. The irony was staggering. Good had been trying to expand its appeal to women, and then it published an ad that showed a man shoving a woman to the ground. The brand that wanted to grow its women's business had just alienated the very audience it was trying to reach. Good's shocking ad has sparked a backlash that has exposed the tensions at the heart of professional golf. The PGA Tour wants to embrace the influencer economy. Brands like Callaway want to reach younger audiences, and content creators want to grow their platforms. But when a 15-second video can undo years of work, the question becomes, at what cost? The questions now are impossible to ignore. Will the PGA Tour cut ties with Good? Can Callaway's partnerships survive the controversy? And what does this moment say about the future of golf's relationship with the influencer economy? One thing is certain, the ad that was supposed to sell drivers has sparked a conversation that the golf world can't ignore.